This is a 2014 Ford Flex that we purchased as our first vehicle for the channel. This has been a bucket list vehicle I've wanted to build for many years now, basically since the day these things came out in 2009. I've always had a soft spot for 60s, 70s, 80s square body trucks and whatnot, and when this came out it was kind of a retro looking SUV at the time. Kind of had some Range Rover styling and whatnot. It's one of those things, it's you love it or hate it kind of deals, but I've always loved the boxiness of these and whatnot. We decided to go with a little bit newer front end on it because the 09 to 13s, they weren't the most desirable front ends per se, headlights and grill, so we opted for the newer style. Looks a little meaner coming at you, whatnot. So we decided on this year per se. Obviously it has, a few issues we got to fix on it. It's got some dings and dents, cracked windshield, but for the price it was right. Motor, I think it's pretty much done. So build list is as follows. As with every vehicle that's going to be on the channel, it's going to be a variant of either paint or wrap, just depending on the vehicle and whatnot, but it will be similar to like a Porsche Guards red, very just bright fire engine red. So what we're thinking is doing basically any body panel from the belt line down will be painted red. Basically anything from the belt line up will be gloss black. So basically anything on the roof, all the trim, all the chrome trim will be painted black. Obviously black out the windows. I'm looking at getting some probably 20 or 22 inch aftermarket wheels for it in black, more than likely, just to kind of keep the red and black theme. We're gonna disassemble the brake lights and likely paint the inside chrome bezels black, and then just do like a black outline on the actual lens itself. Likely paint the back flex part black with some red maybe inlays in it, whatnot. We're definitely going to keep the trailer hitch on it because we've got some really cool ideas with it. Lower it down a bit. Interior needs a little bit of loving. It's been pretty well used, but the main thing that's going to be done to this is it's going to be getting a Coyote V8. I've been dreaming this up for many years now. It looks like it should work. We will be pulling the motor out here shortly to see, the room we have and whatnot, but from the measurements I've taken, it looks like it will work with a little bit of modification. This is a all-wheel drive model, so what our plans are is to take the front diff out of the whole equation, basically use the factory rear diff just to get going on this thing. I know it will not last very long, but these models did come in the twin turbo EcoBoost, and those things did make some serious power if you were to mod them. So likely a 450 horsepower V8 should last for a little bit, but there's plans to do larger builds on this as far as upgrading the rear diff and suspension to like a newer Mustang 8.8 diff with axles and whatnot, maybe brakes, because it's all very similar track width geometry and whatnot. Maybe in the front suspension possibly, depending on the difficulty of all the suspension components, but it's going to be kind of a work in progress. We're going to kind of build it up as we go, get it running, driving, whatnot, and then get the body, paint, all that stuff done. Hopefully we're going to try and do pretty much all of it in-house as far as that goes. And like I said, this is going to be just a progress build, kind of just in stages. I know there's been a lot of chatter on forums and whatnot online about guys wanting to do the V8 swap, but I've been dreaming this up for years, so I'm going to make this happen. No matter what we need to do, it will happen. It will likely be the world's first V8 Ford Flex in existence. So if you want to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe our channel, because there's lots of other ideas that we have to do builds of this sort. We'd like to try and utilize the factory dual exhaust on these things in the back. I'll end up building probably a full custom stainless exhaust system on this just to make it very unique. do some interesting badging on the back just to kind of surprise some people. Gotta come up with a pretty awesome vanity plate for it to surprise some people, but nonetheless, this is our Ford Flex V8. In the coming weeks, we will be tearing into this, pulling the motor, transmission, any other drivetrain components, making room for what we need, figuring out dimensions. We'd like to try and run a 6R80 automatic, as this is a factory console shifter, which should in turn work if we do a 6-speed automatic. Again, we're gonna have to do some measuring and whatnot to see if a 6R80 will even fit in this transmission tunnel area per se. If not, we'll have to make some modifications or look at other options as far as manual transmissions that may fit a little better. So that's another big issue. Also hoping to use the factory Mustang drive shaft if possible, that we're looking at getting with the whole pallet engine we're looking at purchasing. So if that works, that'd be great. If not, we'll obviously have a custom drive shaft made. Maybe upgrade the brakes a little bit, help with stopping power and whatnot on this thing, because it's going to be obviously a lot more power and a lot more rim on it. So we're going to try and retain as many factory options on the Flex as we can as far as the BCM and whatnot. So this will be a well done swap that we're going to try and make function, work just like an OEM system as much as we can. Obviously there'll be a few exceptions, but for the most part I want it to look very factory when you pop the hood. Almost look like it's supposed to be there right from the factory.